muted. Schenker did not record that intro for us, Logan. Danny recorded it. No, it was some thing that my mom made. Actually, she used some program and created that intro.
Yeah, Elder Shredder.
Also Shredder. Yeah, Danny played on that. No. Might get sick of that after a while, hearing that. Maybe I'll change it up. I'm gonna start making my own intros.
We'll change it up. We'll do different genres.
She sent me the She sent me the program. So yeah, I should start doing.
Have a saxophone intro.
A saxophone intro, xylophone, triangle. All the great instruments. But yeah, so. Thanks. So we're here for continuing our Michael Schenker career retrospective. So we're doing the first four Michael Schenker group studio albums plus the 2 live albums. So Christina's doing the hold on, Christina's still muted. Christina's doing the first we're going in order here. So Christina, Logan, then me because I'm doing the first live album, then Danny, then Brian, and then back to me again for the final live album. So, and then we're all gonna pick our favorite songs from the studio stuff. So, so Schenker, he left, I guess, Scorpions. He kind of did the Love Drive thing for a little bit, left in the middle of that tour, and then I think it was around this time he decided to burn his house down after a coke dealer didn't have his coke. So it's just kind of strange. Yeah, he had a little bit of a off-the-wall personality back then. But then, then he decided in 79 to form his own group, Michael Schenker Group, which everyone just calls MSG now. And, they had a few incidents along the way with singers. We'll get into that one. But they started off with this one, which I think is a classic. I'm sure a lot of people will agree on that. I mean, this was easily probably his most successful album, I would say, maybe. People kind of know these songs more than anything, but yeah, cool, weird album artwork with him just kind of I don't know, hooked up to an electric thing. I don't know. I didn't even know there was a woman in here until looking at this just today. I've looked at this album 1,000 times. And I just noticed that now that there's this woman hiding and peeking around the corner. But so Michael Schenker Group. So on here, so the first album he didn't really have a full-time band. It was just him and Gary Barden on vocals, who I don't think he had really done much of anything prior to this. I think he was just discovered he was in some other band called Fraser Nash, and I guess Schenker heard it and hired him. So, yeah, he was first singer that sang for Michael. So it was just him and Michael that were technically the official band members. So he hired session musicians to play the music. Simon Phillips is on drums. He did he played on Sin After Sin by Judas Priest. He did, he's got a long list of John Lord, Mike Oldfield, Gary Moore, Tears for Fears, 10cc, Pete Townsend, The Who. He was a drummer for Toto for from 92 to 2014. So he's just a big, huge, working from pop bands, heavy metal bands all over the map. So good drummer.
Fusion stuff, right? It's crazy. Yeah.
Bass player was Mo Foster. He's played bass for Jeff Beck. Gary Moore as well, Phil Collins, Ringo Starr, Joan Armatrading, Jerry Rafferty, Brian May, just ABBA, Cliff Richard, all the Van Morrison, just all over the map. So, yeah, it's all these random, just really random guys that he picked up for this. But yeah, great lineup on this first album. Unfortunately, they were just session guys, so they weren't really, because I guess he kind of probably just quickly assembled it, had to find whoever was available at that time to just get it starting. But then when we get to the second album, he finally kind of had an actual full-on lineup. So Christina, you want to take it away on your album review of this? Oh, and produced by Deep Purple's Roger Glover.
Hey, I was going to see that.
There you go. Well, there you go.
This is my favorite of all the albums.
Okay.
It had a major backing label from Chrysalis.
Yep.
And I don't know if I can read my notes. It had success in the UK and Japan. The vocals are underrated to show off Michael's work. It was produced by Roger Glover of Deep Purple, and that's why it has a polished, heavy sound. His Flying V and Marshall amps give it a warm, biting sound. And then we go on to the songs. Armed and Ready had a crisp driving main riff, melodic solo. I like that one, but it's not my favorite. Cry for the Nation. That was like a hard rock, heavy metal sound. It was all right. But yeah, I'd give this whole album a 10. So,
Okay.
but I have my favorites, of course. And then Victim of Illusion. That was a smooth hook, driving, blues influenced, gritty singing tone. He does have raspy, gritty vocals.
Yep.
And then on to the next, which is Buys You Pleasurette, which is just a melodic instrumental. Michael, shows off his lead style. It's just his guitar is like vocal, like the way he uses that thing. I'm telling you,
Emotional.
Nasal cutting and the range, emotional depth, the lyrics. Lyrics needed for that one. And then Feel Like a Good Thing. I thought I had high energy hard rock song.
Yeah.
His guitar work was precise, emotive, and technical. High gain, clear distortion. And then Into the Arena. Now that's my number 3 pick. I really like that one. Hard rock instrumental. I know it's an instrumental, but it don't need no lyrics either. Man, it's just his solos in that are just precise. It's just moving, And then, excuse me, my hair's in my eye. Oh, too many pages, stuck together. Sorry.
Oh, good.
Looking Out from Nowhere. That's my number 1 pick. I think that showcases his ability to craft intricate melodic solos that fit the song instead of going over it.
Yeah.
Trying to just mainstream the whole song. It's got Powell on the drums. Cozy Powell's on the drums. He's great on drums. We know this.
Not on the first one, Christina. Second album.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
It's Simon.
It's Simon Phillips from he was in Priest and all this whole.
No,
other
he
band.
did good too. They both did good because I did get to listen to the live ones this morning. Tales of Mystery. That's atmospheric, melodic rock, precise blues licks, and again, his lyrical melodies is just insane. And then Lost Horizons, that's my number 2 pick.
Okay.
I thought that was blues influenced rock ballad, but still, I just love the solo. It's just his solos are breathless and they do sing. They're just excellent. And then on MSG, should I go with my favorites now or
no? We're just gonna just do the whole album. We're gonna do it like once the person's on that album. So
all right.
Yeah. So we'll just do our So Logan, well, I guess I might as well go. It makes more sense. So my favorite off of that is the first song. I know it's kind of a lame pick because it's the most well known, but like I have always loved Armed and Ready.
Iconic, man.
Just
Iconic.
It's an iconic, fast, heavy rocker. Solo in that is great. I think Gary sounds great. Just the whole. Even at the end, when he's doing the whole "Are You Hot Tonight," and he just kind of keeps going, and it kind of like changes a little bit the atmosphere of the song at the end a little bit, and it actually has an ending. It doesn't just fade out. I think that's just that's just a phenomenal song. Always loved that song, "Armed and Ready." It's probably my second favorite song of his in general. My first favorite's on the last album, funny enough, but we'll get to that. But yeah. So it's easily my second favorite song of his that he's ever done. I think it's just and it's a concert staple. Getting to see that performed live when I saw him in like this small bar with like 400 and something other people was phenomenal. So that was a really great show, and he nailed it. And of course played that song, and just a phenomenal song. So Logan, what would you say is your favorite?
All right, so this is torture, guys. This is torture. Pick one song off this album.
In a good way, good torture.
Yeah, in a good torture.
Like
The
this,
best
like how
torture
he's being
anybody could ever
tortured.
go through. Yeah,
Michael's
yeah.
being tortured.
Yeah, he's getting tortured by having to watch himself play on the video camera or whatever on the back.
Yeah, there's
So,
like yeah.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, guys, like I could pick seven songs for a favor. You know, it's
Yeah.
great. But I'm gonna go with "Feels Like a Good Thing." I think
Okay.
for today. Love that song. Christina really said everything. You know, it's got high energy. Love the drumming because it starts with the drumming. You know,
Yeah.
and it has a great riff. And I think Gary and Michael really play off each other well on a track like that. And it's kind of like how Sydney was talking about "Armed and Ready" with the call and response thing. They do a lot of that on that song too, which I thought was awesome.
It's almost funky in a way, but like heavy,
no,
but like it's got a weird.
Like these,
it's a funky
we'll get
beat.
into that.
Yeah.
We'll get into that on my album. There's a couple songs on there where I feel like there's some like funk kind of stuff. So yeah, feels like a good thing. But that album, man, an 11.
Yeah.
11 out of 10.
Right. Yeah, oh yeah, by the way, give your ratings. I guess Christine, you said you gave it a 10. Logan's given it a 10. Danny, what's your thoughts on this? What would your favorite off of this be?
I have to go with Into the Arena.
There you go.
Yeah, I love the instrumental. I love the triplets. Yeah, I love that. And his solos after each, I would call it like a verse section.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they're fire. Let's see. In my notes, I say this is one of those driving tunes. If you own a Ferrari or a McLaren or a Lambo, put this on when you want to go fast.
Well, you got to pick a German car. Come on.
Okay, Chum. Yeah, we're talking Porsche. Und einen Audi. Yeah.
Hey, Michael may be watching. Come on. No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Okay, Michael.
He's not watching this.
Big Apes, Michael.
See, and that's what makes this album so great. We've got 3 different songs so far, so it's just like everyone's picking the same song. That kind of makes the album make it seem like it would be weak when everyone's picking the same thing, but like everyone's picking different. Yeah, so continue Into the Arena. Or did anything? But yeah.
No, it's just there were a couple other songs that I liked a lot, but it's just the way the song starts off. It's the triplets that get me. It's kind of like that. If you recall Montrose's what's it? Matriarch.
Okay.
It's I love that kind of a drive, and it's just it has what I like. So that's the tune I picked.
Okay, cool. It's funny you say that because I've read some reviews of the Alcana album that said there's some Montrose in there. So it's just kind of funny that you said that.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. So, getting more of Danny's influences coming out. There you go. Yeah, I hear a little bit of Montrose in some of this and some of the guitar and some of the just how it's done. Yeah. Brian, so what's your thoughts and what's your favorite one on this?
Yeah, this album was a good listen. It was fun and it went by fast. I liked it. I like albums that do that. They just kind of you put it on, it gets to the point and it's over, right? I like that Bison Pleasurette song.
Okay, cool.
Just because I just think it's beautiful. So I like I think the keys are a little sexy in it. I like the riff. There's really no lyrics, so I liked it the most.
You don't like his voice, do you? I know.
I really don't.
Brian, that's with you, bro.
That's I like his voice, right? But yeah.
I picked Victim of Illusions too because I like the riff. So that's like an honorable mention. And then Armed and Ready. I thought that was a great opener. I thought that was a great song. I thought it was strong. But the album's fun.
But as you said, it's 39 minutes, so it's somewhat longer for the time. Like it's almost 40 minutes, but it goes by like that, like quick. 'Cause every song is great, so it's not like it's dragging on. You're waiting for it. Oh, is there going to be a good song? It's phenomenal.
I'd give it a 7.
7? Wow.
10. Yeah.
Damn. Okay. You should be on the contrarians with Grant, Brian. Oh no, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, that's cool. All right. So then, who's next? Christine? No, wait, no. Christina might saying.
Logan.
Logan's next with MSG, the second album.
Yeah, not to be confused with the first album, right? Michael Schenker Group.
It's very confusing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's 2 different covers to this album. I guess I'll start with my spiel here. This one, I don't know if it's the U.S. one. I didn't look that up, but I think this is the U.S. cover. It's got the great logo. Love that.
Yeah, I like
the one
that
behind me here.
And then
the one
that's
behind me here.
Original UK cover, yes.
Yeah.
Where it
And
looks like they just drew it on. It's just kind of.
Yeah. It's like the
Yeah.
back of the US one. They
Great
just
picture.
like kind of made it artwork, kind of
Okay.
weird. But yeah. So I wrote a little preamble before we get into the song.
Okay.
So this album came out in September of '81, and it was recorded in the spring of '81. So really quick turnaround from the first album, pretty much. This is the band's second album, and it's really, it's kind of the first one with an actual lineup, kind of like what Sydney was talking about, because they just had a bunch of session guys, really, besides Gary.
Yeah.
You got UFO alumni Paul Raymond comes back, so he's here on keys and rhythm guitars, just like he was with UFO.
Yep.
And Cozy Powell is playing the drums on this album, and then you got Chris Glenn playing bass, who was in the sensational Alex Harvey band, and we'll get more into that when Danny goes. Somebody else from Alex Harvey's band comes
Joins.
and fills Cozy's spot. So a lot of revolving doors in this band, But I mean, he had a great lineup, I think, on this album, and And another thing, the producer was Ron Nevison, who worked on a lot of the the later '70s UFO albums.
Mm-hmm.
So he worked on Lights Out and Obsession and Strangers in the Night.
Well, he did
And,
Quadrophenia and Bad Company's
he did a
debut,
bunch of
and
he did a bunch of
Zeppelin,
albums.
Chicago, Grand Funk, Thin Lizzy. Like he's a big name.
Yeah, pretty big name in the rock world. And another thing I noticed, I was reading this. Apparently, Nevison had like high production values for the record, and it kind of resulted in the album going over budget for the band, which kind of led to turmoil in the band. And that's probably part of how this lineup came to not be right after, not long after this album came out.
Well, they did the live album too, right? But yeah.
I guess they just couldn't get the money back from what they did in the studio. So it's unfortunate, but at least we got a live album and a great studio album, I'd say, out of it. And I went into the charts a little bit on this one. The highest charting position for the record in the UK was number 14, and here in the US it got to 81. So I mean, it's breaking the top 100 at least. So I think the first record it hit 100 in the US. So did a little bit better. And they released one single from this record, which was "Ready to Rock," backed with "Attack of the Mad Axeman," which I don't think charted anywhere. Yeah. So But yeah, that's my little preamble thing. So we'll get into the tracks here. Got the start of side one, which is "Ready to Rock," which by this point in Michael's career, he can write excellent hard rock anthem songs. Think about "Too Hot to Handle" or "Armed and Ready," like we just talked about. This one's no exception from the norm from that. Right at the start of the track, you get a memorable signature Schenker riff. It kind of reminds me of "Hot and Ready" a little bit. Like that chorus riff of "Hot and Ready" kind of has that same feel. And Cozy's got some great 16th note drumming on the hi-hat, which kind of brings the energy up to start the album. And Gary Barden, I guess, sorry, Brian, I feel it's quite...
You can throw me in there, too.
It's quite the I think he's an underlooked vocalist at times on these albums. He's got a distinct vocal on the pre-chorus of the song, which is really a highlight for me on the tune. And it's got a catchy sing-along chorus that could go down perfectly in a live setting, which I know they played this live a bunch. So, and Cozy's got a great double bass groove during the chorus as well, which bleeds into Michael. Yeah, he bleeds into Michael's solo really well, which shows you him using some cool dynamics and going from slower lead lines to building up to more shredding styles. I just think it's a great song to open the album with, which that one kind of doesn't ever end. They're just kind of singing the chorus. And then you get punched in the face with some soaring leads with "Attack of the Mad Axeman." It starts right where "Ready to Rock" ends. Got them soaring leads before breaking into this funky hard rock groove, which I was alluding to earlier. That when we were talking about feels like a good thing. But this track changes a bunch. There's a bunch of different changes in it. Changes pace again for the chorus section. Features some fast and frantic playing from all the members, I thought. And we get a softer, more piano-led section, which I'm sure Paul Raymond had a lot to do with writing those parts. Because, it's just like with UFO. There's always these changes, these lighter moments. And I think Gary does some great falsetto-style vocals there, too. That shows another facet to his style, because he hasn't really done that on these albums until this song, I thought. Michael adds some great emotional leads in here. And Chris Glenn plays some cool bass lines, I thought, too. And yeah, that leads into what you think is the ending of the song with the whole "Watch out for the attack of the Mad Axeman," and then you think it's
You
over,
think it's
right?
over? Yeah.
Yeah. Then this riff comes in, this heavy riff, and Michael just fires away with a great solo. Man, it's one of my favorite leads he performed probably ever. Really, it's probably a top 10 for sure. And yeah, there's some slight acoustic guitar added in, which I wrote down, which I thought was a nice subtle touch to the ending. Kind of adds a little different flavor. But yeah, it's just an excellent song, one of Michael's signature tunes from his solo career. I know it's a live staple. I mean, Sydney named the show the Mad Axeman, so
He played it
what
live,
more
and
do
I
you
saw
need?
him too. So
What
yeah,
more do you need to know? You know, I mean, it's a great track, man. So that gets us to the third track, which is "On and On," which I think this tune is where I feel like the Raymond Schenker connection the most with on this record, because I think it really highlights both of these guys greatly. And Paul Raymond didn't get a writing credit on this track, but I got to imagine he wrote a good majority of this song. You know, especially that intro with them like haunting keys.
Yeah.
It's got some clean guitar in before the tune just kicks into high gear for the heavy verse riff. And I love the differences here between the heavy verse sections versus the like piano driven chorus parts. It almost sounds like Paul Raymond's playing like a harpsichord on the chorus. I think Freddie Mercury did some harpsichord stuff. So you hear that in Queen stuff sometimes. And yeah. Yeah, that's what harpsichord. Yeah. Yep. And yeah, so harpsichord. Of course, this breaks into another excellent Schenker lead, which I thought was great. And what he does in just a few short seconds always amazes me, because he does a couple leads in this song. Fast and frantic leads, which goes back into the verse and chorus structure once more, before we end with some nice backing vocals on the chorus and another great melodic driven solo from Michael before he starts going crazy fast on the leads, kind of, you know, his signature style of playing kind of there. And yeah, I think this song, I feel like, is what UFO could have became in the 80s if Michael would have stuck around with the band. Because, you know, I mean, I feel the presence between Raymond and Schenker a lot on the track like this. And I could see Phil Mogg, you know, writing lyrics or something to this. And I think I was watching some videos from other channels. They're talking about Schenker. I think this is like the only song that actually had a radio presence in like the New York area. So it's kind of funny. Yeah, out of all the songs, and that wasn't even one of the singles or anything. So it's
it probably should have been. It probably should have been though. Like the other ones are a little bit.
Great, catchy, memorable chorus. I feel like, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that'll get us to the last song on side one, which is "Let Sleeping Dogs Lie," which has a kind of, I wrote down a low down, dirty riff to kick off the track. Just love it, you know. I think it's an E probably, because Michael loves his riffs in E. Seems like, I know Rock Bottom's in E, and and it's got some thundering, cozy pal drumming, kind of like militaristic style. I thought, you know, kind of like a military cadence kind of thing. And I love the call and response type verse structure between Michael and Gary. There's that showing up again, like we talked about in the first album. Paul Raymond had some cool keyboard work to the chorus, which works well with Barden's vocal, I thought. Michael's solo on this one, again, is very memorable. Features the slower styles and faster, more legato runs he would work in as well, which I thought was cool. Michael takes another lead in the fade out of the track, which plays off the chorus melody line, which I thought was cool. And yeah, I think it's just a highlight for the entire band to show off their talents. That's a good thing about these albums. He always leaves room for the other guys to show off their skills as well. It's not just, look at me, I'm playing this crazy solo, you know?
And he gave a lot of writing credit. You look at this, like that's credited to all four members, or all five band members.
Yeah, that's the one track on the record that's like that too.
It's all five of them.
Crazy, So.
Oh. Come back, Logan.
Oh boy.
After Logan.
Oh, damn it. Oh man.
What's up with Michigan?
I don't know.
That cut out, man.
Now you're good.
There you are.
Back. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just saying, side one's excellent. You know, got excellent stuff and rivals to me some of the tunes on the first record. But yeah, we'll get to side two here. Starts with "But I Want More," which is the big 7-minute epic to kick side two off. Starts with some fading in keyboards from Raven, giving a total different feel than anything from the first side. Michael's playing some soft, clean electrics in this intro, and Gary's doing his falsetto type, ooh and ah type vocal. And before those drums come in and kick the rocking part of the song off, I thought. And this one's very slow and heavy on the verses. But before you think you know where the song is going, Michael kicks into a more faster up-tempo riff, and the band kicks into overdrive for this part. Again, I hear a little bit of the funk styles in this section, but again, this changes for the more melodic and softer styles of the intro of the track. So there's a lot of changes, in the song. It's really cool. For being, 7 minutes, I think they go through that style 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
I just love the way they structured it, there's some great melodic lead work from Michael and his last solo in the track. Section's a little familiar as it has the same type of descending chord progression that the end of Sleeping Dog's Lie has, I feel like. So he's kind of soloing over this descending thing like they were doing on the last track. I think it works, great. It works great on both songs. And the song ends in a fade with Gary shrieking about wanting more. It's kind of funny, He's got great vocals there, though, I think, And when I read that about Ron Nevison going over budget on this album with his production values, I'd say this song probably had a lot to do with that because it's like really big and bombastic and all these different sections. And I'm sure it was hard to really piece that song together, But they do handle it live, which Sydney will talk about here in a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool that they had this kind of epic to start side 2 off with. And I think it was worth it if they went over budget for a song like that, because that's a great tune. And then we get to Never Trust a Stranger, which this is the one lone Paul Raymond wrote song. It's the ballad of the album and prominently features piano throughout the majority of the song. It's another one I feel like shows another side to Gary Barden's vocal talent.
Uh-oh. Oh, Jesus. Stills, I'll Never Trust a Stranger. Okay, yeah, Steven Stills is on this, but I don't know which. It doesn't really say. Okay, there you go. You're back.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Jesus. Oh, boy. Oh, poor Logan. There you go.
Kind of a rough one, but it's probably my least favorite on the album. But I still like it. Chorus is pretty memorable and catchy. Definitely works for a ballad, I thought.
Yeah, you're still again. We got Steven Stills here. He's still. Logan, you're frozen again. Logan, type in the chat. Type in the chat. I don't know. There you go. You're good. Keep going.
Oregon? I don't know.
You're good.
I don't know where it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, Never Trust a Stranger, not a favorite for me.
Okay.
Right? Okay. It's okay for a ballad. It's pretty memorable. It's got a memorable chorus, but not really my type of tune. The last 2 songs I'll just bunch together in case I turn into Robot Man again. Looking for Love and Secondary Motion. Kind of, they're both heavier songs, probably getting away from the experimental side, of the first 2 tracks on the side 2. I think Looking for Love kind of has a Let It Roll feel. Got a nice shuffle groove. And the ending leads and band work I think is just amazing on that track. And it finds the band locked into like a shuffle groove. Michael fires on all cylinders on the lead for that. It's a pretty straightforward rocker, but that's totally fine with me after the last few different kinds of songs.
Yep.
So we'll get to Secondary Motion. It's got some like soaring leads from Schenker, and Chris Glenn actually is doing a little bit of bass work. Pretty cool there. Kind of leads into this heavy 4 on the floor groove. Chorus might be one of the more poppier styled ones on the album, I feel like, kind of Paul Raymond's keys, and I don't know, it's kind of got like this pop feel, but it's still fun, I think. Michael does some lead work in between verses as well, which is great to hear again, like he did often in UFO. I'm thinking like Mother Mary, he did a lot of leads in between verses. And the last half of the tune is dominated by some epic guitar playing and Cozy's stomping drum groove holding it all down. And the last 2 tracks, like I said, lead the album back into its more rocking style, I thought. So,
was your favorite?
Wrap it up. Oh, yeah, I didn't do that. Damn.
I'm thinking Max Man, because you were kind of giving that one the most praise, but
yeah, it's hard because I think it's in between that one and on. But I think I give it at Axeman probably today.
Cool.
But
how would you rate this album?
On the great track though.
Cool.
So it's got some great highlights, and I feel like in doing this review, I've gained some respect for it. Like I was talking to you guys about earlier, because I used to just think the first album and Assault Attack were like infinitely better than the other 2. But this one's really starting to rise for me. So, all side one's very strong, and I like the more adventurous nature of a song like I Want More on side 2.
Mhm.
So I give this a 9. I think it's a 9.
Very good.
See,
Yeah.
Evan loves Never Trust a Stranger, but yeah, cool. So solid 9.
Yeah, I mean, it's
So
cool.
we'll do favorite songs. My favorite is Attack of the Mad Axeman. I love that. I love it even more, which I'll get to. But yeah, I love the studio version too. And like, all I'll have to say to add to yours is basically, yeah, it's basically 4 songs in one, like 4 different bands almost. Like I feel like it starts off almost like Maiden, with the kind of has that gallop, and this is before. I mean, we know for a fact that Maiden's influenced by UFO and Wishbone Ash, and they've mentioned all these other bands from the 70s and but the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, but easily for me was Mad Axeman. Yeah, Attack of the Mad Axeman. But yeah, it starts off like kind of like this Maiden gallop kind of thing, and then it goes into like this funky groove, which kind of would go to the UFO thing a little bit because it's kind of like bluesy and funky, so it kind of has more of a 70s kind of vibe to it throughout. And then, yeah, like you said, you think the song's over, and then all of a sudden it turns into like this heavy riff with which is more like the Michael Schenker group's signature style, right? So this is more like in the vein of this kind of stuff. But then you got like even that middle section, like you said, where he's singing high pitch. That reminds me of Uriah Heep. He sounds like David Byron on that.
Oh, yeah.
When he's
Yeah,
doing
a lot
that
of
really
yeah.
high pitched, just kind of soft vocal. I hear Uriah Heep on that. So this song kind of has like Maiden, Heep, Michael Schenker group, and like UFO all into one, and it's a fantastic song. Yeah, the solo at the end after you think the song is over is just phenomenal and just completely goes off the rails. It's just amazing. So yeah, so that's my pick from this one. And as far as I think honestly when I first heard this, I was just like, the songs are kind of there's good songs and there's ones that are okay. But after listening to it like a couple of more times, I think it's grown a little bit more on me. Like it's just the lack of familiarity with it. Like I'll admit the only one I like honestly had sat down and listened to before all this was the first album. I just never dived into his stuff before for whatever reason. But I'm glad I did because this is actually it's not as good as the first album. I'd still give it like a solid 8.5 because there's a lot of great material on here. But yeah, Mad Axeman, whatever. That's what I'm going to call it, Mad Axeman. It's the highlight for me. So Christina, what would your favorite off of this be?
I like But I Want More. I think it has a killer riff, and
that's a good song.
It's just very high energy. I just love that song.
Yeah. Cool.
Axeman second. Mad Axeman second.
Cool. Danny.
Well, yeah, I wasn't a fan of the mix on this album. I spoke with you a little earlier.
Yeah. It sounds very raw, which is weird because they spent so much money on it.
Yeah, I just wasn't a fan of it. I wish the vocalist would have been pulled back more in the mix. He sings on the first live album, is that correct?
He's both of these because he comes back, so he's on both of them. Yeah.
So, I mean, the first live album, I think the vocal's perfect. I mean, sitting perfectly there, and I love it. And all the guitar parts in every one of these songs are great.
Yeah.
The guitar tones are great, and a lot of the songs are great. It's just the mix bothers me so much. It was hard for me to really concentrate on what was going on. But my favorite song, even though the title is pretty cliche, it's Looking for Love.
Okay, cool.
I like Michael's pentatonic riffs, and the melody was pretty catchy. So I think that would be my favorite on this album.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we're getting some different picks here. It's good. Brian, what would you go with? Oh, sorry, Danny. If you were to rate this, what would you?
Oh gosh.
Maybe based on the songs themselves. Maybe not on the.
I can go there. I would say maybe an 8.
Okay.
8.
That's still good.
Yeah.
I think I forgot.
Anything Mike was good with. So.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. It's Brian.
Yeah. This album had great flow. There's some great tracks on it. I'm picking But I Want More I
Okay.
love the whole second side because it was a little more experimental, a little more sporadic than the first side.
Yeah.
But and then my second one was On and On, which I think is a great riff. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
this album was
Yeah.
good for me. It's about a 7.5. It was better than the last one.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I can see, and I'm not a big production guy, but like even I'm just kind of like, yeah, it seems a little bit like I don't know. It sounds like there's the guitars aren't up
Great picture.
as the guitars aren't strong enough. I mean, it's well played, but it's like they seem a little bit lower in the mix than on the first album and some of this other stuff. It's very weird.
Hmm.
Like you can tell they're all fantastic musicians. None of the stuff they're playing is bad. It's just yeah, it's weird because then they spent so much money on this. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's weird to me.
Hey, you know
Yeah.
that happens. I mean,
Yeah.
especially when if you're in the studio a lot
Yeah.
and you're focusing a lot
Yeah.
on songs, you can beat them to death.
Yeah.
And then walk
Right.
out thinking you finally
Well,
got it, and when you go back when it gets released or whatever, you go, oh
Yeah.
shit. You
Well,
know?
Shanker's a perfectionist. Like he was the kind of person he'd do a whole song, do the solo, and then be like, "Oh no, that wasn't good enough. Throw it all out and start over." It's just like, oh my god. At
Yeah,
some
go
point,
back to the
you just kind of
go-
gotta like, okay, this is good now. Like,
Yeah.
go back to the Strangers in the
I
Night
get it.
video.
He
We
want,
talked about that,
I get
right?
it. He wants to make the best music possible, so that's nothing on it. It's just like at some point the label's gonna be like, we need this to come out. You can't just keep doing it over and over and over again.
Yes.
That's
Yeah, or
Nothing
you
to
end up
blame
like
them.
Tom Schultz, right? You end
Want
up like
to do
Tom Schultz.
better.
You know what? He's a real musician. I'll give him
Yeah.
that. He never compromised himself for. So then, yeah, I'm gonna get into the live album here. Oh my god, I got like an essay written here for this, so I'll just go through it quickly here.
Do
So which one am I on? Okay, so yeah, One Night at Budokan. So this came out. Let me get the little history of this going on here. Where the hell is? Yeah, this came out in 1980. This was recorded in August 81. Came out February 82. So this was part of their 1981 Japan tour. So this was recorded at Nippon Budokan in Tokyo.
Mm.
This was just actually one concert, and there's no overdubs. This is 100% like Michael completely refused to do guitar overdubs with UFO, which is kind of probably why the reason he left, because there was lots of other things, but like he didn't agree on that. So on his own solo stuff, he's just like, nope, no overdubs on my albums or for my live albums. This was like you're getting authentic. And what's incredible is Paul Raymond. So he's playing keyboard and rhythm. He would play. I'm not sure if he's left-handed or right-handed. Well, for sake of argument, he's right-handed. He would do the keyboard parts with his left hand, just with one hand, because he's just playing mostly like keys, like chords with the one hand. And then he'd have his guitar strumming hand ready to go, so he could switch back between the chords on the keyboard and the chords on the guitar. And I was reading a thing with him, and he was just like, I couldn't do it anymore. He's like, it was fun, but like for your mind to like play with a live band and to do those two things, it was just insanely difficult. He's like, I could do it, but oh my god, it was stressful trying to like your memory has to be spot on and to like to even pull that. So the talent Paul Raymond has too, it's just phenomenal to sit there doing keyboards and guitar. It's just crazy. But yeah, so give some love to him. But yeah, and this is the same lineup as the second album. You got Schenker, Gary Barden still there, Chris Glenn from Alex Harvey, and Cozy Powell from basically everybody. And Danny, actually, you were saying before we went on the air, you actually played with a guy who played saxophone for the Alex Harvey band.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's cool. Danny's got all sorts of stories. We do all these shows, and then all of a sudden we mention bands. And he's like, "Oh, I played with that guy."
Yeah, stuff pops out. You know, when you get old, you don't remember everything, and then something pops out of the old cupboard.
Cool. Yeah. Paul Raymond's an excellent musician himself. So yeah, I didn't even go song by song. I just wrote like an entire thing for this. So yeah, so this starts off with like that classical piece, Ride of the Valkyries. It's like a very famous. It's not one of I didn't recognize it by like the title. Don't ask me to name any of these titles of these classical pieces. I'm bad with that, but like it's one of those you hear it, you know it. Like it's been in a lot of different things. But yeah, and then the band is introduced. I'm not sure if that's Gary introducing them, or if it's just like the guy, I don't know, some guy screaming and introducing the band. I'm not sure if that's Gary. I can't really tell. I don't think it is. It doesn't really sound like him, but yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, and then the band comes in with like the heavy guitar strumming, bass going nuts, Cozy hitting his bass drums and his cymbals like they owe him money. Just, yeah, it kind of has like a sound like the end of a song would, right? Kind of where you're just going nuts at the end, but they just start the show off like that. And yeah, and then it goes into, and then oh my god, I'm losing my sounds like it would be okay, and then yeah, and then Armed and Ready kicks in, which is yeah the song that most people would be familiar with, even if they're like a moderate Schenker fan. Most people probably know Armed and Ready, but yeah, that's what they kick it off with. It's basically his signature song, I would say, for the most part. The tempo slowed down slightly, like it's not as fast. It's a very small, it's a little bit noticeable, but it's not like to the point where it's like, oh, this is super slow. But it is slowed down a bit. Doesn't take away from the song at all, though. Kind of stands out because it kind of makes it sound like its own version. It's not like where it's completely destroyed the song by slowing down. It's like a very like small change. But because of having Paul Raymond on the rhythm guitar, Michael's throwing in all like these leads and like bends in between in the verses that weren't on the original recording. So that adds to it more to make it different. Michael nails the solo as expected as he would. And oh my god, I should have spaced this out more. I can't even read this. And I actually like it more than the studio version. Yeah,
Cool.
Paul Raymond keeps a catchy rhythm during going to solo, along with Glenn laying down a catchy bass line, and Cozy keeping the beat. Then we get to, oh yeah, Gary also I think sounds good throughout this. I love his voice on this. He kind of has a raspy voice, but then can belt out the high notes like he does right before the solo and at the end. Paul Raymond also provides great backing vocals, which you can hear at the end when he's singing that tonight part. That's Paul doing that tonight. That's Paul Raymond. And then, yeah, great version of the song, and I can listen to this one just as much or even more than the studio version. Then Gary introduces the next song, which is Cry for the Nations. This one's different than the studio version as well, because it gets rid of that keyboard intro that's on the studio version. If there's one negative I can say about the first album is that weird key. I found that cheesy, the beginning of Cry for the Nations. I thought that was a little bit on the corny side, the way it sounds. So they don't even do that on here. I don't think they really ever include that live. They just get right straight into the guitar here. Yeah, it gets just straight goes into the main riff and Michael holding that sustained bended note, which is actually higher in the mix on here than it is on the studio version. So the rest of the song is pretty much the same, but it's the same length. So it's to make up for the keyboard part, it's replaced by a guitar solo at the end of the song. So it's like extended instead of like a fade out. So there's way more guitar work at the end. So I think to me, this is the definitive version of the song. I actually like it more than the studio versions on this. Like, yeah.
I do too.
So then we go, oh my god, I did this so wrong. I should have gone song by song. I can't, oh my, because I have to like stop. I should just keep going here. Where am I going? Oh boy. Higher in the mix and oh jeez. Okay, yeah. And then yeah, again, Cozy hitting those drums like he owes him money at the end of the song. So yeah. Yeah, get rid of that. There, Gary then again with introducing a lot of the songs on this actually. Yeah, so then he introduces Attack of the Mad Axeman, and he introduces it as a song off their album that's coming out. So I guess this was actually recorded before the second album. It actually came out after, but it was recorded before the second album was released. So this was actually the tour for the first album, but I guess they were promoting up-and-coming songs on it because they do touch on a lot of songs. So I guess a lot of the stuff was already written. But yeah, not much to say as it's pretty much the same as the studio version. The only difference being Michael's leads are higher up in the mix, which again puts this above the studio version for me. Everyone sounds great on this. They nail it. Same with the next song, But I Want More. The only difference on this, the guitars being higher in the mix, the solo at the end being extended by 14 seconds instead of fading out. Just think it's another great version of that. Victim of Illusion, more of the same. Basically, just a killer live version of an already amazing song with Gary introducing it. And there's more extra guitar work at the end as well. And some added singing with Gary holding long vocal notes. And then it goes into the Arena, which Gary introduces, and again is pretty much the same as a studio version. Again, but you can really hear the bass on this too. It's really up high in the mix as well. And that part with the bass and the wind-like keyboard section in the middle where it gets quiet, I think that really is higher up. And bumps it up. Then this bumps it up above the studio version. Like a lot of these, I'm actually ended up liking more than the studio version because I guess the music's just up higher in the mix. I just think it has an overall better sound. But then, yeah, so just another amazing version of Into the Arena. And then Gary comes in and introduces On and On, which is, for me, that's miles above the studio version with the extended guitar solo at the end instead of fading out. Just another great rendition. And then, yeah, up next is Never Trust a Stranger. Gary kind of adds some humor to this because during his introduction of it, he says, "This is the moment we're going to get quiet things down a bit. We're going to do a number with Mr. Paul Raymond on my right on keyboards. This number he wrote in the bathroom last week." So it's just kind of like, okay. It's just kind of funny. But I think this version blows away the studio version. It's slowed down a slightly bit. It's slowed down a slightly bit, though, because the time differences on the studio and this, I noticed, were a little bit different. So it is a little bit of a slower tempo. It's already a slow song, but I find the guitars, again, they're louder in the mix. They're punchier. And it just comes off better as a live song for me than in the studio. So I think that's actually good too. And then up next is Sleeping Dogs Lie. This one's almost 2 minutes longer with extra guitar soloing from Michael instead of a fade out. That's the great thing with live albums. You'll get like these extended solos and not fading out solos and that kind of thing. That's a big pet peeve of mine, is fading out solos. You don't get that on here, obviously, because it's a live album. But yeah, everyone else on this sounds amazing too, aside from Michael. But yeah, everyone else, all the other musicians on this are phenomenal. Yeah, and then up next is a song that's actually not on any studio album. It's only played live, and they would do it actually in most of a lot of their live shows. Introduced by Gary, as written by Paul and Michael. It's an instrumental. It's like a neoclassical instrumental called, oh boy, French.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that.
He says it. I should have nailed the pronunciation. He says it. I think Courvoisier Concerto with Michael.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, with Michael playing some great leads filled with emotion. Paul complimenting him with the keyboards that are underneath. I think it's a great song that goes very well into the next one. And I think that instrumental there, I think Yngwie kind of took that sort of sound and kind of ran with it as well. You hear a lot of that stuff in Yngwie's solo stuff as well. But well, he'll come up later in the conversation, Yngwie. But yeah, we got yeah. So then this one actually goes it's a cool instrumental that leads well into Lost Horizons. Yeah, as stated, most of these songs are pretty much the same as the studio version, other than other than the instruments being up higher and louder in the mix. And like you said, Gary's brought down a little bit, but I think this is just mixed better well than the first two albums, just overall. And I think they were just that much louder live in general as musicians. So, and again, that's all. It's also slightly longer with extended guitar soloing at the end instead of the fade out. And Paul Raymond actually ends it with some really kind of weird spacey piano playing, which leads into the intro of the UFO song, Doctor Doctor. And I like this version more than the Strangers of the Night one. They keep the up-tempo speed of the original while adding more live energy to it. I think Gary does a great job with it vocally. I kind of want to correct myself with what I said about the Strangers version, though, with the wrong lyrics, because those wrong lyrics are also on here and on every other live. So I think maybe that's just Michael wanted to change the lyrics live, and they just stuck with those lyrics for whatever reason. So yeah, just during the Doctor Doctor part. Where did I go? Where was I here? Michael wanted, yeah. And then, yeah, also changes the part where the lyrics are supposed to be, "It's not a nervous situation for a nervous boy." He changes it to "German boy," I guess, for Michael. So I thought that was kind of funny. I don't know if that was just him being funny, he did that on the spot, or if they rehearsed it that way, but it was kind of somewhat amusing. I'm like, did he just say German boy instead of nervous boy? And then, yeah, I love how it's extended at the end, as well, with Michael doing some great leads. And then Gary's yelling "Goodnight Tokyo," "Domo Arigato," and just cozy beating those drums again. And then they come back out for the encore with "Ready to Rock." And it's 3.5 minutes longer, but it's mostly due to Gary's announcing that it's the first band's tour of Japan, thanking everyone for coming. And then the last 2.5 minutes, there's this crowd participation with Gary going back and forth with the audience singing "Are You Ready to Rock?" as Cozy and Glenn keep the beat on the drums and bass. And that ends with some thunderous drumming from Cozy, more thank yous from Gary, and some wicked bass playing from Glenn to cap it off, which I just think this is an amazing live album. I had never heard this, and I couldn't stop playing it when doing this. This is the one album I just kept putting on over and over and over again. I think this album is phenomenal. It's a perfect 10 all day, every day. Yeah, I was just blown away. I didn't even know this existed until we decided let's do a Schenker thing. I was just looking this stuff up. I just thought this was just amazing and just excellent musicianship from everyone involved. So yeah, that's my positive review for that. So what are your like general thoughts? You know, have to go through every song, but like what are your general thoughts on this quickly, Christina and Logan, Danny?
My general thoughts were about the bass and Into the Arena. I thought that bass was kicked up more. I loved it. And my favorites, But I Want More and The Lost Horizon and that whatever it was, the concerto. That was a cool little instrumental there.
Yeah. Cool. Logan, your general thoughts.
Well, I don't have much more to say than you already did. I mean,
I did like a whole essay.
Yeah, I couldn't highlight anything. I mean, you know,
I did that
to the live album. You gotta listen to the whole thing. Like, you know,
I wrote
it makes you feel like you're there. You know,
I wrote that all this morning while listening to it again. So I'm just like, let me do my notes now because I'm not going to remember what I want to say.
It's an excellent live album, man. I mean, the band were on fire. You know, it's just a shame that this was the end of that lineup. You know, but yeah, I don't got much more to say. I mean, it's great stuff.
Cool. Got some people in here, new people that I haven't seen here. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
me and Evan are trying to figure out what the best song on Obsession is. So.
Bobo saw Emerson, Lake, and Powell. That's cool. Yeah, Cozy's
awesome,
a phenomenal drummer. I never got to see him in anything, obviously, but
Danny. With Rainbow, Long Live Rock and Roll, Bobo scene. Yeah.
She wrote essays like that in school. I might not have received so many calls from teachers. Oh my God, of course.
Well, I put.
They were calling to tell you how wonderful I was, weren't they?
When you first started talking, I put a comment because she said something like that, and I said they didn't have Michael Schenker appreciation class in school.
I wouldn't have known who he was probably back then, anyways. I wouldn't have. I was really. Danny, your overall thoughts on this?
I agree with you 1,000% that the live album. Let me see if I can put this articulate it. The mix in the live album, the instrument placement in the mix, including the vocals, for me are much better than the two studio albums.
Cool.
That we've talked about so far. Much better, and of course the energy too is really good on the live. So I agree with you on the live album. I would prefer listening to that over the two studio albums, even though there's some of the same songs. I mean, there's something about the mix on those albums that bug me. One of it's how far out front the vocals are, and this did it for me. And I guess my favorite song on the album, it'll be my second time I picked the same song, but I love Assault Attack.
Okay.
The first song is Assault Attack.
No, you're looking at the next live album.
Oh shit!
Or you're talking the studio album now?
Yeah.
What's the first song on the
on Assault Attack?
It's Armed and Ready, right? On the live album.
On the live album.
The first track.
On the live album?
Yeah, where they have the intro.
Armed and Ready.
Armed and Ready. Thank you. On
my start with A, Danny. It's a simple mistake.
Yeah, it's just the name. On my version of that stuff, it wouldn't show the names on.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I had to take a guess. Armed and Ready. That's, in my notes, I've got this song fucking rocks. Throw out the bullshit intro and get yourself a first class ass kicker. This song vaguely reminds me of Montrose's Space Station number 5.
Yeah.
I put Hell Yes, but all of the songs on this album are great. Cool. And I would give it a 9.5.
Nice.
An excellent live album.
Cool. Brian, what are your general thoughts on this?
I totally agree too. I think that these songs are way better than the studio stuff as well. And I know that for this assignment, I listened to all the remastered ones from whatever 2000s, and I whatever it was. I didn't even write down the years. I should have. But yeah, I enjoyed this immensely. And the thing is, I would probably buy the two live albums and skip the studio ones altogether. But
I agree with you.
that's just me. But there was some differences between some of the live stuff and the studio stuff, which I'll highlight here. But I like that. But I Want More, which I liked off the other album. It didn't shine on this for me. It wasn't as engrossing, it wasn't as descriptive as it was on the studio, but I still wrote it down. But yeah, Attack of the Mad Axeman, I kind of skipped over that from the studio, but I really like the grooves on this one, on the live. So Into the Arena, I thought was heavy grooves. I thought that was a really standout song on this as well. He's showing his licks, he's showing his talents, and like I said, it's one of the heavier songs I think that's on the album. And then On and On, which I think is a better version live than it was on the MSD album. And I think it's
poor guy.
The solos are just ripping. I think the riff is just deeper. You can hear more what's going on. I even picked Sleeping Dogs for this too. Let Sleeping Dogs Lie, and that's got a good like punchy riff, rock, and even the drummer's nailing it with again with double bass and all the stuff that he's doing. I guess Cozy, right?
Is it Cozy?
Yeah, it's Cozy on this. Yeah.
And then Cry for the Nations, I thought it was a way better solo than the studio. So it's got you got your trades. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it was a very strong album. I'm going to give it a 9.5 as well because I really enjoyed it. And again, one that you drop the needle and it's over before you know it. It goes by so quick.
Cool. Yeah, we will get into that at a later date because there's actually this was re-released in 2009 on CD with more songs, like a couple more. There's like a 10-minute Cozy Powell drum solo. It's just kind of it's crazy. We'll do a show. We'll do a show on we'll do like a 2009 show of all like the bonus stuff on these live albums and stuff like that. So yeah. Oh shit! I got another show. In half an hour, so we're gonna have to. Okay, so Christy. Oh wait, no. Who's next? Danny.
Next.
Assault Attack.
Yeah.
Okay. This is by far my favorite album of the bunch. I love Graham Bonnet. Okay. I've always loved Graham Bonnet, and
he loves you too, Danny. No,
yeah.
You see what he did for you at the college? No, I'm kidding.
At
the university. Do you want to talk about that?
No, you can talk about that. That's not something
why he left. So yeah. So Graham Bonnet joined for Assault Attack. There was disagreements with Gary, and actually, the lineup on this, we got Graham Bonnet's on vocals, Chris Glenn's still there on bass. He doesn't change on any of this. Paul Raymond was gone, so they were down to one guitar player. Ted McKenna came in on drums. He was in the Alex Harvey band with Chris and was on the Rory Gallagher albums, Photo Finish and Top Priority, which are actually my two favorite Rory albums. So kind of cool to see Ted come into the Michael Schenker fold. Didn't last. It lasted. Gary Barden and Graham Bonnet lasted one show with this band. He got fired after one show. They were playing at a university. He got totally wasted and whipped it out at the university. And Michael's like, okay, enough of this. And he pulled a Jim Morrison. Yeah. So, yeah. We'll get further into that. But Danny, what's your thoughts on the music on this?
I don't love him because of that. I just love his voice.
That's a real rock star right there. Yeah. Oh my God.
All right. The first track is the title track.
Yep.
This is a medium tempo rocker, and it's really a killer tune. For me, what really puts the album over the top is not just Michael's playing and the songs that are on the album, but definitely Graham Bonnet's vocals. First verse comes, first verse, first chorus are just true rock power. Verse 2 and chorus is much like the first verse. We get to a breakdown. Michael takes does some arpeggios and takes center stage, and it's beautifully done. Michael brings in one brings in a one-line melody over the top, and the section builds. And then back into the song and outro and the finish. This great tune. Go on to the second tune now. Rock You to the Ground. This one has a heavy blues vibe. We've all heard something similar to the verses, but the chorus in this one for me is a total standout. So melodic and catchy. Michael does some nice counterpart melodies behind his own solo, which is very unique at the time, and he is really shining on the solo here and the outro. This is Michael. This is the Michael I know. Fantastic and great tune. Dancer. Man, if there ever was an FM hit, this should have been one. I mean, everybody's saying, I mean, it's, you can't get this out of your ear once it gets in there. The chorus on this is a dead ringer. You just, I wrote, you just can't get it out of your head. I'll repeat for the comic. I'll repeat. This is very commercial. I really like this song. The melody is strong. The song is strong, and it gives the listener an uplifting feeling. There's a section near the middle that reminds me a little bit of Wayward Son, and then Michael does a real good ripping solo, and back into the verse chorus, repeat for a couple times, and ends. I like this song a lot. Even though it's commercial, I liked it a lot. The next song is called Samurai. This is a medium tempo rocker. Michael breaks out a galloping rhythm, which he's known for in several of his tunes. This verse melody is for me just okay, but I love the choruses. There's a new part introduced which has dual leads and vaguely reminds me of Wishbone Ash. Michael comes back in with a real ripper. It's probably his best solo on the album so far. I really love the chorus on this song, and a lot of it's just Graham Bonnet's voice. His two-part harmonies in the verse are just okay for me. Because of the chorus and the great guitar solo, I'm gonna say I still love this song a lot. The Desert Song. This is a mid-tempo rocker and should be considered a classic rock tune. Michael's guitar sound and Graham Bonnet's vocals are a perfect match for me. The song is catchy all the way through with the beautiful verses and choruses. If Michael's solo were longer, I would most certainly rate this with Lights Out. It's that fucking good. When I say Lights Out, and Lights Out in London. Broken Promises. That's the next tune. I'm going as fast as I can for you, bro. This is a slow to mid-tempo rocker. Although it's slower, it's a slower tune. It does rock pretty hard. The verses are straight ahead, and the choruses can be a little syncopated. The chorus is slightly reminiscent musically of some of Deep Purple's stuff. This isn't one of my favorite tracks, but but when it gets to the bridge, which is very cool, and then Michael takes a solo, and it's burning the place down, dripping with feel. Once again, if you like guitar players, and I do, this track certainly doesn't disappoint. Next tune was Searching for a Reason. We got two more to go. This is another medium tempo rocker. Michael comes out of the gate laying down a beautiful guitar melody, which for me is the hook of the song. The song has an infectious groove. The verses are great. The choruses are just okay for me. But overall, the song is great. After the second chorus, Michael does his famous double leads, and it's really beautifully done. The outro and the ending is with Michael's beautiful hooky guitar melody. I love it. That's do. Yeah, I love that.
Catchy and memorable, right, Danny?
It's very, you can't forget it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ulcer. The drum groove is so reminiscent of Cozy Powell's Killer. You guys know that tune? Off Cozy's. Great drum groove. This is this is an up-tempo feel instrumental. I'd say this is a must listen for any guitar player. Michael's minor pentatonics and minor scales solo is a burner. That's it.
Cool. What's your favorite? What would you say your favorite was?
I think it's Into the Arena.
No, you're going at the first album now.
Well, without even looking, I guess I didn't put it in my notes for some stupid reason. I was
it's because they're all good, Danny. You can't pick
It's because they're all good.
Yeah,
Hey,
if
you can't even pick one, that's fine. Yeah.
I dig Dancer. I mean, I'm going with Desert Song for sure.
Okay.
Awesome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good.
I'm completely contradicting you when we get to the live album, but that's okay. So yeah, what would you rate it out of 10?
I'm going to give this a 9.5.
Cool. Yeah,
Awesome.
my favorite song would be the second one, the one that you described as like kind of like the slow bluesy rock you to the ground. I love Graham's voice on that slow. This sounds like it could have been a Rainbow song almost. It's like the slowed down like blues song.
Yeah,
and then it gets and then the solo at the end is like I think it's like a 2-minute solo, and Michael just goes crazy and just starts soloing all over the place.
And Ted McKenna starts doing that double bass, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
Ted's great. Like, yeah, Ted's a great drummer too. Like he didn't really do that kind of drumming with Alex Harvey, really, because it's more 70s rock kind of thing. Even with Rory, he didn't really do double bass drumming, but just shows you Ted could do anything really, just blues, that, and then this kind of stuff. So just solid drummer as well. So, but I would definitely go with Rock You to the Ground, and overall, I'd probably give this album about a 7. There's some songs I'm not too 100% crazy about, but I still think it's a solid album. And I differ. I'm not crazy on Graham's voice. I know he's a great singer. He's got a powerful voice, but I find it almost overwhelming, like he's yelling at me or something. It's weird. He's got this really shouty voice, but he's a strong singer. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this guy can't sing. He can sing. I can't do that. That's just really in your face, I guess. But yeah, and it's funny because he always like said, I'm not a rock or metal singer. I'm a pop singer. I'm like, Graham, what the hell are you talking about? He's got the short hair and looks like a businessman. It just seems like a cool dude, but like it's really weird.
On the back of this album cover is the only time he looked pretty cool. You know,
Yeah.
He's got the leather jacket on and
yeah.
Usually looked like a coke dealer or something, you know.
Maybe that's who was dealing to Michael when he burnt the plate. Yeah. Oh God, So yeah, Christina, what would your favorite on that be, and then give a rating?
The same exact song.
Okay, Rock You to the Ground.
Yeah, I thought it had a slow, heavy groove and a slow burning riff, and it had that distorted mid-range tone.
Cool.
Really good, I thought.
Logan.
Looking at the song again, man.
What would you rate? What would you rate it? Would you give your rating after?
9.
9. Okay, cool. Logan.
All right. This is a toughie again. I think I'm gonna go Samurai, guys. I love it.
Samurai.
Yeah, got that cool melodic lead, and just love the it's kind of reminds me of Maiden a little bit, like Sydney.
It's because we did Senjutsu last week. That's why you're thinking Samurai.
Maybe that's why. Yeah, it's got a great chorus, like Danny was saying. I love that chorus, man.
Yeah.
You know, great unison lead lines. It's kind of more of a mid-tempo song, but yeah, I mean, there's not a dud on this record for me. So,
cool.
And yeah, like Danny said, this is my favorite one. So, probably give this a 10, man.
Beautiful. Wow, cool. Logan never gives 10, so if you hear a 10, then
I've gave 2 of these albums a 10. So there you go.
Okay, cool. You give the first one a 10, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Them
Brian.
2 are just special, man.
Brian, your favorite and your rating?
Yeah, I'm picking Samurai as well. That one really stuck out to me, and I thought it was a really nice heavy riff. I like Broken Promises. I thought that was good. You said Rocky to the Ground. That's a nice sleazy riff. I thought that was a fantastic song. I really like that one.
Sleazy riff. Got sexy keys and sleazy riffs.
Solo, it's sleazy. It's like that's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of just something sleaze. I liked it, but and Dancer. I think the drums in Dancer were really, really good. I think that they really shine on this album. But that's the 3 I got out of it. Oh, Ulcer. I picked Ulcer too.
Okay, you picked the instrument. I almost went with the instrumental. I almost went with that.
It's a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun to listen to. It's high driving, very high energy. It's
People know
I think
how
if
to
I'm
do
liking anything
instrumentals,
from
right?
the
You
album,
know,
Like I said,
right?
if it wasn't for Rock You to the Ground, I would have picked that. I was going with that originally, but I'm like, you know what? I like the kind of slowed down, heavy bluesy thing with the second song. So yeah. And what would you rate it, Brian?
yeah, I'm gonna give that a 9.
A 9?
I really
Cool.
like this album.
Okay, so I'm
Awesome.
wrong. Everyone else is
There's
giving
a
it
lot of good
9s.
tunes.
Here I am with my 7.
This week on the Contrarians.
To each his own.
No, it's the song Dancer that does it for me. I actually don't like Dancer. The chorus I found was a little bit,
that bad,
but the
man.
solo was
Seven isn't
phenomenal. I'm just like, what? Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
solo,
Yeah.
killer.
Yeah. So then we move on to the last studio album, which did Brian. So Brian, you want to
Nope.
jump for joy talking about your favorite album of all time?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Same lineup, except oh no, sorry.
In the
Gary-
immortal words of Charlie Brown, I got
Gary-
a rock.
Gary Barden came back on vocals, so their first singer's back. I guess after kicking Graham out for his whipping it out incident, brought back Gary, and Andy Nye came in on keyboards, and then we'll get into it. Derek St. Holmes from Nugent's band actually does the tour. He's on rhythm guitar and does some vocals, which I'll get into. But yeah, from Ted Nugent's band. So, but yeah, Brian, talk about Built to Destroy. Rip it apart, because I know you're about to.
Oh man, right off the first note from the first song, when I first started listening to it, I knew I was in trouble. I knew it was gonna go off the rails real quick. And I was hoping it was just gonna be one song. Nope, it's the whole album.
Oh
So,
boy.
You feel like you're bubblegum I don't know, bubblegum pop. It is very much of that. It was a lot of poppy, just keys, synths to it. This is the kind of metal that turned me off of this kind of metal. This is the exact kind of stuff that I don't listen to.
Yeah, Wikipedia calls it pop metal, which is just a really silly term, but yeah.
I mean, if I had really been into MSG, because I do like some stuff after this, but if I had been in the MSG and then I had bought this album, I would be out. I would absolutely quit the camp, So, but I even numbered them. So there's 9 songs. So so the number 1 song is my number 6 song, right? So it's Rock My Nights Away. It's just too happy. It's just too happy for an opener.
Keyboard thing at the beginning, yeah.
It's a lot of over the top keyboards, which I love keyboards, but man, this just didn't gel well at all. It didn't sit well. I even sat with it during the whole course of the week trying to see if something would click, and nothing clicked. It just got more annoying.
Needs more sleeves. Okay.
More sleeves, yeah. But like I said, happy poppy keyboards throughout. It's almost like this Rob Halford vocal through everything. Then you have like a ballad. Then you got this real gruff voice to it, and it's like that doesn't even add up. That's like peanut butter and tub caulking or something. I don't know what it is.
It's like a horny cat,
Oh, it was bad. So all right, so that's my number 6. I mean, the solos were great. All the solos were great.
Yeah, it's Michael.
Just the song structures didn't do anything for me. The vocals did absolutely nothing for me, but made me more agitated and more irritated as the album went on. So,
what are the songs you actually like on this? Yeah.
Oh my, yeah. Well, you want to go there? I'll go with Captain Nemo as my number 1. And
okay.
That was like a lot of busy fretwork.
The instrumental.
Rocker. The instrumental, right? So I think you saw that coming, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then my number 2 was Systems Falling.
Okay.
Systems Failing. And that's the one with the ballad and the vocals and the solos. Actually gives it some credibility. But I mean, I was laughing at this song, and I had to pick it just because I was laughing so hard. So I don't know what to say. I don't. And then Red Sky is my number 3, which I really like, but it sounds like Judas Priest. Like all the vocals just sound like Rob Halford on this thing.
Yep.
Got a really
What's wrong with that?
Solo. There's a lot of these.
Rob Halford Jr.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it's almost like they were trying to do like some kind of clone band of like that and Whitesnake mixed together or something.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of classical influences, which I really was the highlight for me, which I really stuck out, which I really enjoyed for like little breakdowns, and
Yeah.
there's a heavy breakdown in Red Sky, which I really like. And then my number 4 was the Dogs of War, which I like live, but it's another poppy rocker, but at least live it's got a little bit of depth and some
Guts.
some heavy to it. But again, it's got the gruff vocals over poppy music.
Yeah, it's a weird match. It's a weird
It,
combination.
it was completely out of my element with the whole album. So, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you mine. Like I said, that's my number 5. My number. Oh crap! What was my number 9? Still Love That Little Devil was my. It's a rocker.
It's kind of
I
a weird song
freaking
title.
hated it. I hated it. It said it just doesn't go anywhere. It's a song that's in your face and then it's over. Then there's the next song in your face and then it's over. And I mean, I I didn't even rank it. I just put yuck. I put yuck up in the corner. And that's my ranking for it. I would absolutely skip this, but I mean the songs that I do like on it are on the live album. So
Okay,
it'd
cool.
be a good reason. Good reason to buy the live album. Skip
Alright.
this one. This one's a total sleeper unless you like that.
So what are you giving it?
Rock.
What are you giving it as a rating? I'm scared to ask, but yeah.
I gave it a yuck. 1 out of 10. I'll give it a 5.
Wow, that's
I'll give it a
generous.
5.
Okay.
I'm
Christina.
not gonna pull a Martin and give it a 0.
Oh, sorry,
Wow,
me.
man.
I gotta go.
Yeah, you first.
My
I heard it 3 times.
yeah.
I'm good for the rest of my life.
I played it once, and the only song that stuck with me was Red Sky. I thought that was like a throwback to the older stuff with the that's like a heavy metal song. It's like the only heavy metal song on here, and it has like those neoclassical parts with Yngwie kind of sounding stuff. But
Yeah, I
and this
love
came
that stuff.
this
I
came
wish I
out a
did
year
more of it.
before Yngwie's first solo album, so I think there's a lot of influence from this kind of song. I think Red Sky is phenomenal. It stands out like a Thor sum with all these other like really. Captain Nemo was great. That's the other great. But all the other stuff just seems so poppy, and it just like, what the hell? Like I don't know what happened here. The keyboards, I don't mind I'm picky with my keyboards. These are kind of like really happy, like silly, poppy, cheesy keyboards, not like just laid back
Yeah,
to
I
to
don't
film. Yeah. So
I don't think
that's
there was
my
any effort
take.
put into this album. I don't think
Yeah,
there was any effort put into it.
I'm with you. I mean, like
I
you
don't even
ripped
think
it.
it was a think piece.
Oh, I'm with you. Like, I mean, the solos are all good, but that's not enough to save these songs. I mean, I'm probably with you, like a 4.5 or a 5. It's just, I don't know, not the greatest, but still worth listening to just to check out, I guess, the solos and everything. But yeah.
Yeah.
Christina, what's your favorite song off of this?
I like the Time Waits for No One. I thought I had a hooky melody and soaring lyrical solos.
Yeah.
I like that song a lot. But the Red Sky is really good too, I thought.
Brian was waiting for the album to be over. Time waits for no one. This album doesn't wait for
I have to say,
This was a rigged assignment.
songs
It
I
was
skipped
rigged.
over.
Yeah, it's a lot of filler. Like it's not that it's really horrible music. It's just it doesn't suit Schenker style or the singers.
Doesn't make you want to hear it again.
Yeah, Graham Bonnet should have sang it since he's the pop singer. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, so Mr. Logan Horizons, what's your favorite on this and
Well,
a rating?
I agree with you, buddy. I think Red Sky, that's the best tune on the record. And it's got like that heavy riff in the middle, like Brian was talking about, that breakdown. That's like almost Sabbath kind of levels, especially on the live album. It's really heavy.
It's
I really love that part. Yeah.
Right on the cusp.
But before we did this show, I really didn't listen to this album that much, and I kind of remember why now, But I think there's some solid stuff. I mean, Captain Nemo is great instrumental, and I'm Gonna Make You Mine was his, he's trying to get a hit commercial wise, but for what it is, I don't think it's that bad of a tune. But outside of those three, I don't really remember much of any of these other tunes.
I did want to just, I'm Gonna Make You Mine. So we will get into that with once we do our 2009 reissues of this and stuff. It's the same track listing on the reissue, and the US mix actually has what's his name? Oh my God, Derek St. Holmes doing the vocals on "I'm Gonna Make You Mine." instead of Gary. But we'll get to that into the live album. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to get in that too much, but I think kind of like what Brian was hitting at, I don't think Gary really fit this style of poppier material.
No way.
I don't know if Derek would have better, but I don't know. It's just interesting, you know.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that more when we get to Macaulay. But so, for a rating, I guess probably a 5.
So, okay, we're generous. All right, Danny, your favorite and
what's
rating
the name of this album? What's the name of the album?
Built to Destroy.
Built to Destroy.
Destroy
your career.
God. Built to destroy your career.
Well,
oh God. It didn't, because he's still touring, so.
Oh.
Did I not send it to you? Oh boy.
No. You sent it to me.
Okay.
He knows.
First of all, I agree with everything that Brian said to the T, to the max. I mean, what Brian said could have come right out of my mouth perfectly. I went with.
Thank you.
I'm gonna make you mine.
You actually picked that. Okay.
Yeah, I picked that. And
solid tune, man.
This is about all I'm gonna say about that.
Okay. It's his guilty pleasure song.
I'd rate this album a turd.
Oh, Jesus. Honestly, I don't think Michael would argue. He probably would. Yeah.
I gave it a 5.
All right. Yeah. All right. So then that wraps it up for me to just go straight to the final album of the day, Rock Will Never Die, which was obviously named after the song. So, from the previous album. So we got here. So, yeah. Now, this album, I have a completely opposite opinion as I did for the One Night at Budokan. It's good, but I wouldn't call it a classic live album. I find the guitars and bass are not as high in the mix on this, and the keyboards are a little bit more prominent, which is kind of a no-go for me. The drums still sound good, though. But right off the bat, starts off with this cheesy carnival music being played on keyboards by Andy. Which I thought was kind of weird. Other than that, though, it's a pretty faithful. Wait, what was the song at the beginning of that? Oh my God. Hold on. I think I deleted my information on what song I was talking about. Rock Will Never Die. Starts off with Captain Nemo. Right. Starts off with Captain Nemo, but it has like this carnival music before it, and it's just like, why? Just kind of weird. But then, it kind of takes away from the song a little bit with having that cheesy, like, ditch that. Up next is Rock My Night Away. Again, I don't care for the studio version, so I also don't care for it live either. The keyboard that's there is just way too cheesy. Nothing against Andy personally, but I just prefer Paul Raymond's, the subtle keys that complement the rest of the music. This is just like too sing-songy and kind of cheesy. Kind of reminds me of the keys on that Dire Straits song, Walk of Life, and I can't stand that song. So apologize to anyone that likes that song, but this is a song I find myself waiting for the guitar solo, which is the highlight for me. And Gary does sound good on it, but it's just that's some positives, I guess. But up next is Ready to Rock, and not much to say because we already addressed it on the other one. But this version leaves out the crowd participation, and I said at the beginning, I was just saying like how it kind of lacks the higher energy mixing of Budokan. Drumming still sounds great on this. How so does Michael's solos. But I find Gary's vocals kind of buried a little bit, or maybe he's just struggling at this point vocally. I don't know. Up next is Attack of the Mad Axeman, pretty much on par with the Budokan version. But again, Gary's voice sounds a little bit strained here this time. He sounded great on the first one. His voice was starting to maybe just get some strain from all the touring, maybe. I don't know. The only other difference ends with him introducing the band members into the arena is the highlight on this for me. It's kind of on par with the Budokan, the studio versions. You get to hear Glenn's amazing bass playing on this. Yeah. And as always, Michael kills it. And then, you get to the album Namesake is next with Rock Will Never Die. Slightly faster than the studio version, but still a mix of like a ballad and a hard rock song. I like the studio version more, though, as it has a punchier guitar sound, I find, and this version doesn't add any like extra soloing. Just kind of goes into Gary adding the line somewhere on the stage or something like that at the end instead of fading out. It's okay, it's not an improvement on the original. This is where Danny's going to disagree with me. I already know because he picked it. Desert Song is next, and although Gary does a good job with it, I prefer Graham Bonner's original vocals on it.
Absolutely.
But I find the song, just in general, I don't know, I find the song drags on a bit, though, studio or live, and I find myself waiting for that short solo at the end. I wish there was like a longer solo, but the solo is the highlight for that song. And then next, Derek St. Holmes get to sing lead vocals on the next song, which is I'm Gonna Make You Mine, because he was in the band at this point and doing the tour. I don't care for the studio version much, but this version is actually my second favorite song on the live album after Into the Arena. I think Derek's voice goes very well with it, and Gary's doing the backing vocals. Everyone involved gives a great performance, and it gets really heavy at the end with Ted going crazy on the drums. Even the keyboards are a little bit toned down a bit, not as cheesy as they are on the studio version, I think. For me, it's the definitive version of this song. Then the album ends with a really cool version of Doctor Doctor, with Michael's brother, Rudolph, joining in. That wouldn't happen now. With Michael's brother, Rudolph, joining in on rhythm guitar, and Klaus Meine from the Scorpions singing the second Doctor Doctor part, as well as that Nervous Boy section, and continuing to provide backing vocals from then on. And then, yeah, Michael does some great soloing, followed by the tempo really picking up at the end. Everyone going nuts. Gary and Klaus doing some cool screaming at the end. Just a different, unique version of the song, and cool that they kind of mixed it up a bit. Overall, a decent album. It's not classic live album like One Night at Budokan, but I'd still give it a solid 7 out of 10. So, yeah, we only got like 3 minutes. So you guys want to quickly give like a brief thing on that? Or you know what? We got to do the wheel spinning thing. So,
I went with Doctor Doctor.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, Doctor Doctor is a favorite. Cool.
Yes.
Logan?
That was the highlight for me too, because you get the cloud. So pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, maybe with more listens, it'll elevate Doctor Doctor. Danny, what would you say would be your
Live
favorite?
is the Hammerschmidt.
Hammerschmidt audio.
Into the Arena.
Yeah, of course. Brian?
Yeah, Are You Ready to Rock? I think rips on this one.
Okay,
The solos and everything. I think live is much better. And I like the desert song on this much better than the studio.
Cool. We'll do the where's the freaking thing? Bookmarks here.
Where's my mark?
So what we're doing for the next one. So let me share my screen here. Wheel of names. So yeah. So I got 2 wheels this time to speed this up.
Show?
So next week.
What's the next show you doing?
Next week I'm starting a series.
No. After this.
Oh, after this. So next week is going to be top 3 favorite albums of 1968, and we're going to keep going all the way up to the current year or whatever. Going to try to get like different people on each show or whatever. So we'll continue the Schenker 2 weeks from now, and it's going to be 3 albums. So we figured Danny, Brian, and Christina will each get one of these 3 Macaulay Schenker group albums, because there is only the 3. And then me and Logan will kind of briefly go over them and like pick our favorite songs from them as well. So that's what we'll do for that. So see who gets see who's going first here. It's way easier with the 2 wheels here, not having to delete shit. All right, so Christina.
The whammies.
All right, remove that. Christina's getting a kick out of it. You're getting the debut, I think.
Yeah.
First album? Yeah, you're getting the first one. Logan, write this shit down. I ain't remembering it. Christina's getting, Macaulay Schenker. All right. Let's remove that one. Now this is way easier. Brian. Cool. Okay, so this will decide what Danny gets as well. All right.
I'm sorry, what is this for now?
Macaulay.
2
weeks, Macaulay Schenker group.
Oh, MSG.
Yeah. So then Brian's getting, I don't even know.
Yeah, I know what it's called.
Love Yourself? Is that
Save
what it's
Yourself.
called? Save Yourself. Okay, Save Yourself. That's hard to read. Okay. So then that means Danny's getting the second one?
I think it's just called I think that's the 3rd album.
I don't know what the hell that's even called, but yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
I think it's called MSG, I believe.
Okay, but yeah, we'll figure it out. We already got it.
I got it wrote down.
You got it written. All right, so yeah, we're gonna wrap this one up. I got a show to do with Dan like now, so yeah. Thanks everybody for watching, and yeah, just stay here, I guess, because we'll hop on the next stream. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll be back in a couple weeks continuing the series. So thanks Logan, Brian, Christina, and Danny for doing this again, and go listen to some Schenker. So yeah, have a good one.